Hello, I'm Brent Gardner, and this is the NRA-ILA Grassroots News Minute for Friday, December 4th. Here with today's first story is correspondent Krista Cupp.
Thanks, Brent. Last week, an overwhelming bipartisan majority of members of the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate signed a friend of the court brief supporting the NRA's position that the Second Amendment is incorporated against the states through the 14th Amendment. The brief, bearing the signatures of 251 members of Congress and 58 senators, was filed with the U.S. Supreme Court last week in the case of McDonald v. City of Chicago. The NRA brief asks the court to hold that the Second Amendment applies to state and local governments through the 14th Amendment. The Supreme Court is expected to hear the McDonald case in March of 2010. And now, back to you, Brent.
Thanks, Krista. In another transparent attempt to undercut the Second Amendment, fresh on the heels of his hidden camera attack on gun shows, Michael Bloomberg's anti-gun group, Mayors Against Illegal Guns, has alleged that the multiple murders that took place at Fort Hood recently could have been prevented by changes in federal gun laws. In an ad in the Washington Post last week, Bloomberg's group claimed that the Fort Hood murder suspect's gun purchase could have been key to the FBI's investigation into his association with terrorists. Of course, it had already been reported that before the suspect purchased the gun, allegedly used in the murders, the FBI knew about the gunman's ties to Islamic clerics suspected of having ties to Al-Qaeda. To Bloomberg, apparently buying a gun is reason enough to be suspicious. You would think that someone who can spend $200 million of his own money to get elected mayor of New York City 3 times could afford copies of the U.S. Code and the Constitution. Not only does federal law stipulate the specific grounds for denying a person the right to arms, the 14th Amendment states that no one shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law. For more information on these stories and up-to-date legislative alerts, please visit www.nraila.org.